Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be making this really pretty and simple cardigan pattern. I will be making a small in this video, but you can find sizes X small to 3X large down below in the written pattern. So yeah, here are the supplies you'll be needing. So to get started on this pattern, I have over here my 5.5mm hook and my category 4 yarn. I'm going to quickly make a slip knot. And to begin this pattern, we're going to make a chain of 57. And to make a chain, you just want to yarn over and pull through. Again, just yarning over and pulling through, just like this. And so I am back here with my chain of 57. And then beginning on row 1, we're going to skip this first chain and insert our hook into the second chain. And we're going to be working half double crochets all the way down our row. To work half double crochet, you want to yarn over, insert your hook into that second chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Again, yarn over, inserting my hook into that next chain, pull through, and then pull through all 3. And then just working these half double crochets into each chain. And so I just finished up working those half double crochets all the way down my row here. Then once I get to the end, I'm just going to chain 1 and then turn my work around, and that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So skipping this first chain and inserting our hook into this first stitch over here, we're just going to be working back bar slip stitches. So to do that, you just want to insert your hook into that back bar and then yarn over, pull through both loops. Again, inserting your hook only into that back bar here, then yarning over, pulling through 2, and making sure to keep these really loose. So just inserting and then pulling through. And then just working this all the way down our row. And so I just finished up working these back bar slip stitches into each stitch. And then just like last time, once I reach the end, I'm just going to chain 1 and then turn our work around, and that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now skipping this first chain and inserting our hook into this first stitch, we're going to be working half double crochets into each stitch all the way down. And so I have just finished up working those half double crochets down my row here. Then as always, you just want to chain 1, turn your work around, and then to continue this pattern, you want to repeat row 2 with those back loop or back bar slip stitches, and then row 3 with those half double crochets until you have a total of 60 rows for your back panel. So I will just go off camera, work those 60 rows up, and then I will meet you back for the front panel. Okay guys, so I am back here with my work. I just finished up these 60 rows, as you can see. And then once we have this, we're now going to begin on the front panel, and we're going to begin by making our shoulder strap over here. Then we're going to go down from there. But do not cut and tie off. We're just going to continue right from this corner. So to get started here, I have already chained 1 and then turned my work around. Then now beginning into this first stitch, we're going to be working back bar single crochets, except we're only going to go into 10 stitches across. And so then as you can see, I just only worked into 10 stitches. Then once I reach the end, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work around, and then into this first stitch, we're going to be working an increase. So we're going to be doing 2 half double crochets into this one stitch. So just right in here, that is 1, and then going back into that same stitch, that is 2, and then you just want to work half double crochets all the way down your row. And then once you reach the row of these half double crochets, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work back around. And so we worked an increase into this first stitch. And then our next row is really simple. Skipping this first chain, I'm just going to be working back bar slip stitches all the way back down my row. Just like this. And then now to continue this pattern, you want to repeat row 2 and row 3 until you have a total of 22 rows. I'm just going to work this with you one more time. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then just like last time, we have to do an increase into this first stitch. So here is 2 half double crochets. Then continue to half double crochet into each stitch across, just as you normally would. And then once you reach the end, chain, and then turn. And then just work slip stitches all the way back down your row. Right here. And then now again, just to continue this pattern, you want to repeat row 2 and row 3. So you should be increasing in the first stitch of every other row until you have a total of 22 rows. I will work that up and then I will meet you back in a bit. Okay guys, so I am back here with my 22 rows. As you can see, we did these increases on the side while this side just stayed completely straight. And then now just to finish up this half, all you want to do is just continue repeating those back bar single crochet rows and those half single crochet rows, half double single crochet rows, but you're not going to do any kind of increases. You just want to repeat those rows going all the way straight down here until you have 60 rows in total. So again, you're not going to do anything fancy at all, no increases, just repeating that normal pattern until you have 60 rows, which should reach the end over here. So I'm just going to quickly work that up and then I will meet you back when I am all done. Alrighty guys, so I am back here. I just finished up working my 60 rows, as you can see, and then I just cut and tied off once I reach the end. And then now once this one half is all done, we're going to go ahead and get started on the other side over here. So let's just get started on that. So to get started on the other side here, what I did is that I counted 36 stitches coming this way. Then I inserted my hook into that 36th stitch, and then this is where we're going to begin. So after you have inserted your hook into that 36th stitch, I'm just going to slip stitch to secure here. So just yarning over and then pulling through. I'm going to chain 1, and then we're just going to turn our work around. And then now beginning into this first stitch, we're just going to be working back bar slip stitches into each stitch. So just right into this first one. And then once I reach the end, I'm just going to chain one, turn my work around. Then you should have 10 stitches in total, just as we did at the other side as well. So then now beginning into this first stitch, we're going to be working half double crochets, and so I have left one stitch remaining with these half double crochets. Into this last stitch, we're going to be working an increase. So I'm just going to put 2 half double crochets into this very last stitch of this row. So that is one. And then here is my second one. Just like this. Chain one. Turn my work around. And then beginning into this first stitch, we're just going to continue working back bar slip stitches into each stitch all the way down. Right here, chain one once you reach the end, and then turn your work around. And then now you probably guessed it, you want to repeat row 2 with that increase at the end, and then row 3 with those back bar back bar slip stitches until you have a total of 22 rows. Right here, I'm just going to really quickly work this one row with you guys and then just show you how to do that increase at the end. So just to repeat that second row, work half double crochets into each stitch across until you have 1 stitch remaining. And then into this last stitch, we're going to be working 2 half double crochets. That's 1, and then here is 2. Just like this. So now again, just repeat row 2 and row 3, making sure you're increasing every other row until you have a total of 22 rows. I'm going to go off camera, work that up, and then I will meet you back when I'm all done. And so I am back here with my 22 rows, repeating row 2 and row 3, came all the way down here. And then just as we did with this side, you just want to continue on repeating these back bar slip stitches and half double crochets without doing any kind of increases until you have a total of 60 rows, which should make you go all the way down here and keeping it very straight. But yeah, I'm going to finish that all up, then I will meet you back. Alrighty guys, so I just finished up these 60 rows, and then just like last time, I cut and tied off once I was finished, and this completes our front panel. And then once we have our back and front panels all done, we're now going to begin on the seaming. And to begin seaming, I'm going to turn my work inside out so that the bad side, or so that the good sides are facing each other. And then to seam, we're going to use slip stitches or single crochets, but basically beginning into this bottom corner, you want to seam up this side here until you have 9 inches from the top completely unseamed, and that's going to leave room for our armhole. Then of course you want to repeat this process on the other side as well, just beginning into the bottom corner, seam using slip stitches or single crochets up the side until you have 9 inches from the top totally unseamed. But yeah, I'll just meet you back once I am all done. Alrighty guys, so I am back here with my work all seamed up. And then now, once that seaming is all done, I turned my work inside out, so now the good side is facing us right now. And then once this is all finished, we're going to go ahead and get started on the puff sleeve over here. So let's just get started on that. So to begin on the sleeve here, I still have my 5.5mm hook. And all I'm going to do is just slip stitch this right into the seam. So just yarning over, pulling through. I'm going to chain one. And then beginning into this first stitch, we're going to be working single crochets all the way around this armhole here, treating each row like one stitch. So just beginning into this first stitch, inserting my hook, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through two. And then into this next row, working another single crochet, and then into the next row, and then just working these, treating again each row like one stitch. So I just finished up working these single crochets all the way around here. And then once I reach the end, I'm just going to slip stitch into this first stitch to join. And now from this point, we're going to make a chain of 59. But you can actually make this chain however long you want your sleeve to be. So you can make it shorter or longer, it doesn't matter. And I just finished up this chain of 59, and then skipping this first chain and inserting my hook into the second chain, just working half double crochets into each chain all the way down here. And so I have just finished up these half double crochets coming all the way down this chain. And then to connect this, you want to slip stitch up two on the side. So just starting into this first stitch, slip stitching up one, and then into this next stitch as well, up two just like this. And as you can see, this kind of connects our row. Now from this point, we're going to turn our work, and then skipping these first two stitches and inserting my hook into this third stitch. You just want to work back bar slip stitches or back loop slip stitches into each stitch all the way back down our row here. So I just finished up these slip stitches all the way down my row. Once I reach the end, chain one, turn your work, then skipping this first chain and inserting our hook into this first stitch here. We're just going to work all the way back down with these half double crochets just as you normally would. And then after you have worked these half double crochets down your row, just like last time, you just want to go ahead and slip stitch up two to join this to the side here. Just like this, and then turn your work around. And then now to continue this pattern, you want to repeat row 2 with those slip stitches and row 3 with these half double crochets, making sure to connect it by slip stitching up 2 on the side. But just repeat those 2 rows until you have worked all the way around here. But I'm just going to start you off on the next row just to kind of show you what I mean. So after turning your work, skip these 2 stitches, inserting my hook into this third stitch. Just want to back bar slip stitch all the way down your row. Just like this. And then after you come back up with those half double crochets, slip stitch up 2 on the side to join. So yeah, I'm going to finish up this sleeve, then I will meet you back to come and seam it all up. Okay guys, so I am back here with my sleeve. I finished working into each stitch all the way around here. And then now that we have finished that, we of course need to seam up these 2 edges, which is really simple. All I'm going to do is just turn my work inside out and then seam down these 2 edges using slip stitches or single crochets as you normally would, and then flipping your work back side out. But I'm going to work that up really quickly, then I will meet you back to begin on the cuff over here. Alright guys, so I am back here again with my sleeve. I seamed all the way down here, and then once I reached the end, all I did was just cut and tie off. Then now once this section is done, we're going to go ahead and get started on the cuff over here. So let's get started on that. So to begin on the cuff over here, I went ahead and switched out my 5.5mm hook for this 4.5mm hook. And I'm just going to slip stitch this right into the seam here, just inserting my hook, yarn over, pull through, then chain 1. And we're going to put 1 single crochet in each row for our foundation row all the way around here. So just beginning into this first stitch, single crochet, then into this next row, single crocheting, and then of course just working all the way around your cuff. Then I'll meet you back once I have reached the end over here. So I just finished up these single crochets all the way around here, and the number of stitches is not exact, but you do want to make sure you have an even number, not an odd number of stitches. But once you reach the end here, I'm just going to slip stitch into this very first stitch, chain 1, and then turn my work around. And then now skipping this first chain and inserting my hook into this first stitch, we're going to do decreases all the way around here. So beginning into this first stitch, I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. Again, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull up a loop, pull through all 3, and this is how we're going to be working the decreases all the way around this row. And as you can see, I did these decreases all the way around here. And then just like last time, I'm going to slip stitch into this very top stitch to join that decrease row. But this time we're going to chain 2 and then turn. And that chain 2 does count as our first stitch here. So now skipping this first stitch and inserting our hook into the second stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. Doing this again, yarn over, insert, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. And then you do want to work these double crochets all the way around your row here. And again, you should have an even number once you get to the end. Okay guys, so I just finished these double crochets all the way around here. Then I'm just going to slip stitch into this very top chain to join this row. Just like that, chain 2, that does count as our first stitch, and then turn my work around. Then now we're going to be doing back post and front post double crochets to kind of form the ribbed pattern for our cuff. So beginning into the second stitch, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook right behind this post, pull through 2, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, I'm going to yarn over, into that next stitch, going into the front post, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. Doing this again, inserting my hook into the back post this time, and then working that double crochet, then into the next stitch doing that front post, and then doing another double crochet here. And then to continue this ribbed pattern, you want to repeat alternating these front post double crochets and then these back post double crochets until you've worked all the way around here. But I'm going to do this with you one more time. I'm going to back post double crochet into the next stitch, and then front post double crochet, just like this. I am back here with these back and front post double crochets made all the way around my row. And then just like last time, I'm going to slip stitch into this very top stitch to join. And then chain 2. And then turn my work around. So now our next row is very similar to the last row. The only difference is that we're going to begin with a front post double crochet instead of a back post double crochet. So skipping this first stitch, going to the second stitch, working this front post double crochet, then you probably guessed it, into the next stitch, doing a back post double crochet. And then just as you normally would, you just want to repeat alternating these back and front post double crochets until you reach the end. Then I'll just meet you back to join it one more time. And so I have just finished up that row, and then I just slip stitched into that top stitch or that second chain to join as always. Then to continue and finish up our cuff here, you want to repeat those last 2 rows, which is row 2 and row 3, until you have a total of 6 rows. But you can actually just make this cuff however thick you would like. I'm just choosing to do 6 rows. But yeah, I'm going to finish up this cuff and then I will meet you back when I'm all done. Alrighty guys, so I am back here with my cuff. I just finished up working these 6 rows, and then once I did the last row, I just cut and tied off once I reached the end. And now this completes our entire sleeve, so it looks really good so far. Then of course you do want to repeat this same process on the other side as well, which I have already done right over here. So yeah, already done that. Then once you have both of these sleeves, we're going to move all the way down here and work on the bottom border. So getting started on the bottom border here, I have switched my hook out to this 5.5mm hook. And I'm going to slip stitch it right into this corner. Yarn over, pull through, chain 2. And then just as we normally would, we're going to do double crochets coming all the way around here to the end. So just skipping this first stitch, I'm going to double crochet into the second stitch, and then just double crocheting all the way along here. And I am back here with this foundation row of double crochets. And then once I reach the end, I'm just going to chain 2 and then turn my work. And this is pretty much the same thing that we did for the cuff. So I'm just going to get you started here. So just skipping this first stitch into this second stitch, back post double crochet, then into the next stitch, front post double crochet, and then back post double crochet into the next stitch, and then front post double crochet, like this. And of course you just want to repeat this same pattern all the way along here. And again, this is pretty much the same thing that we did for the cuff, so I'll just meet you back once I reach the end. So I just finished up working this all the way around here, as you can see. And then of course, just to repeat this pattern, you want to repeat this row, which is row 2, until you have a total of 6 rows for your bottom border. But I will just work that up really quickly, then I will meet you back when I'm all done. Alrighty guys, so I am back here with my border. I just completed doing these 5 rows and then I cut and tied off once I reached the end. And now once that is all done, we're going to get started on this front border coming all the way along the side. So to get started on the border coming over here, this is the same exact thing that we worked for the bottom border, but I'm just going to show you the steps. So you want to begin into this bottom corner, and then you want to double crochet all the way up and around here until you meet the end on this side. So I'm just going to work up those double crochets, just treating each row like one stitch. Then I'll meet you back to show you the next steps. And so I am back here with these double crochets. I started in the bottom corner, then I worked all the way around here once I got to the end. Then now you're going to do the same thing as we did on the bottom border. You want to repeat alternating those back and front post double crochets coming all the way around, and then doing that until you have 5 rows in total. Since this is the same thing that we did over here, I'm just going to work that off camera, then I will just meet you back when I am all done. Alrighty guys, so I am back here with my border. I just finished up those 5 rows, and after that is all done, the last step to this project is just to weave in all of your loose ends. But once you've finished that, then yeah, your cardigan is all done. If you guys enjoyed this pattern and found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you bought this pattern, it would be super helpful if you left a positive review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!